At the beginning of the drama, we are introduced to the main female lead, Xia, who is a talented fashion designer. One day, while she is busy working, her friend Sang Lee comes to meet her. From their conversation, we learn that Xia has an important industry reception to attend later that day. But there's another reason why this day is so special. Today marks the first anniversary of her relationship with her boyfriend, Wei. Xia loves Wei deeply, so she decides to surprise him by celebrating their anniversary. She even books a beautiful hotel room and decorates it with great care. However, when she tries calling Wei, he doesn't answer any of her calls. Just then, she notices a room key lying outside her room. Thinking it belongs to the room next door, she goes to return it. But the moment she opens the door, she is completely shocked. She catches Wei cheating on her with another woman. Instead of causing a scene, Xia calmly takes a few pictures of them. Seeing her standing there, Wei quickly starts making excuses. He says, "It's not what it looks like, let me explain. We were only discussing a business collaboration." But Xia refuses to believe a single word. She immediately breaks up with him. Then she shows him the photos and warns him that he must accompany her to tomorrow's industry reception. Otherwise, she'll upload those pictures to the internet. After saying that, she walks away. The betrayal hurts Xia so much that she goes out drinking with Sang Lee. As they continue drinking, we are introduced to the main male lead, Jiang, who has been quietly watching Xia from a distance for quite some time. A little later, Xia goes to the restroom. As she comes back, she accidentally bumps into Jiang. She almost falls, but Jiang catches her just in time. Since she's completely drunk, Xia starts flirting with him without even realizing what she's doing. Jiang tells her that she shouldn't act like this with a stranger. Then, he simply picks her up in his arms and takes her away. The next morning, Xia wakes up and is shocked to find herself sleeping in the same bed as Jiang. She slowly remembers that, while drunk, she had come here with him the previous night. Feeling extremely embarrassed, she quietly tries to leave the room before Jiang wakes up. But just as she's about to leave, Jiang opens his eyes. Smiling, he says, "You're leaving without even saying hello?" Then he hands her the bracelet she had left behind. As Xia reaches for it, Jiang gently grabs her hand. Feeling awkward, Xia says, "I drank too much last night. Let's just pretend nothing happened between us." Without waiting for a reply, she quickly leaves. Hearing those words makes Jiang feel a little disappointed. The next day, even though Xia doesn't want to go anywhere with Wei anymore, she has no choice but to attend the industry reception with him because of their business relationship. At the reception, Xia unexpectedly meets Jiang once again. The moment she sees him, she freezes. From Jiang and Wei's conversation, we learn that Wei is actually Jiang's nominal uncle. Wei then introduces Xia as his girlfriend. Hearing that, Jiang deliberately starts calling Xia auntie. Naturally, Xia feels embarrassed and immediately says, "I'm not that old, why are you calling me auntie?" Jiang then changes it to sister, making the situation even more awkward. Then we see a flashback that reveals a surprising truth. Jiang has actually known Xia for many years. Several years ago, Jiang's older brother committed suicide. Jiang has always believed that Xia was the reason behind his brother's death. That's why he returned from overseas to take revenge on her. The next morning, Xia goes to Wei's company to discuss their business partnership. She learns that Wei wants to cancel their collaboration, which would cause serious problems for her company. Wei then shamelessly tells her, "If you come back to me, I'll think about continuing our partnership." Hearing this, Xia becomes furious and walks away without saying another word. Later, she talks to Mr. Wang, whom she had met at the reception. Mr. Wang tells her that although the situation is difficult, there is still one possible solution. If she can convince Jiang, the collaboration might still happen. As soon as she hears this, Xia goes to meet Jiang at a swimming pool. She secretly looks around, trying to find him. Suddenly, Jiang appears behind her and asks, "Are you looking for me?" Xia admits that she came because she wants to discuss something important. Jiang reminds her, "Weren't you the one who said we should pretend we don't know each other?" Ignoring that, Xia explains that she wants to collaborate with his company. She confidently says that her company creates excellent fashion designs. Jiang calmly replies, "Many other companies make good designs too, so why should I choose yours?" At that moment, Jiang remembers something Xia had said while she was drunk the other night. Back then, he had asked if she was staying with Wei just because of money. Xia had answered, "Money can't be kissed or touched. There's more to life than just money." After remembering those words, Jiang finally gives her a condition. "I'll collaborate with your company," he says, "but only if you jump into this swimming pool." Xia immediately falls silent. Jiang smirks and says, "If you can't do it, then forget about the collaboration." He turns around and starts walking away. To his complete surprise, Xia actually jumps into the swimming pool without hesitation. But there's one problem. She doesn't know how to swim. The moment Jiang realizes what's happening, his expression completely changes as he rushes toward the pool to save her. After Jiang pulls Xia out of the swimming pool, she regains consciousness a little later. Instead of thanking him, she calmly says, "I'll see you tomorrow afternoon at the restaurant." Her confidence leaves Jiang quite impressed. Later, we see Jiang talking with his friend Duan, who knows all about his revenge plan. Jiang tells him, "Xia is much smarter than we thought. I have a feeling she's hiding a lot more than we know." The next day, Xia and Jiang meet at a restaurant. While they are talking, Xia accidentally spills a glass of wine on Jiang's clothes, completely ruining his outfit. She immediately apologizes and tells him that she has a new set of clothes for him. Then she leaves to bring them. At the same restaurant, we see Sang Li waiting nearby. Xia quietly tells her, "Once Jiang changes into our company's clothes, make sure you take plenty of pictures." Sang Li hesitates and asks if this is really the right thing to do. She worries that Jiang will be furious if he finds out, but Xia replies that she has no other choice. If she wants to save her company, she has to do this. A little later, Jiang comes out wearing the clothes Xia prepared for him. Smiling, Xia says they fit him perfectly. However, Jiang already knows exactly what's going on. He tells her, "You invited me here on purpose. Then you deliberately spilled wine on my clothes so I'd have to wear your company's designs. And your photographer is hiding behind that wall. You're really desperate to save your company." After saying that, Jiang starts walking away. Xia quickly follows him and sincerely apologizes. Jiang then gives her another condition. "I'll collaborate with your company," he says, "but only if you agree to stay with me." Before Xia can answer, Wei suddenly arrives. The moment he sees them together, he sarcastically says, "So this is why you broke up with me. You found someone even richer." Wei continues insulting Xia in front of everyone. Unable to tolerate it anymore, Xia slaps him across the face. Furious, Wei starts shouting at her again. This time, Jiang steps in. He grabs Wei's arm and twists it, warning him to stay away from Xia. Then, as if nothing happened, Jiang turns to Xia and asks, "So, where are we doing the photo shoot?" Hearing those words, Xia can't hide her happiness. Then we see them arriving at Xia's company for the photo shoot. However, the female model hasn't shown up, so the entire shoot is delayed. After learning this, Jiang says he doesn't want to work with any other model. Instead, he wants Xia to be his partner. Xia immediately refuses, but Jiang reminds her that they already signed a contract, and according to that contract, she must fully assist him during the photo shoot. If she refuses, they can simply cancel the collaboration. Left with no other choice, Xia agrees. During the photo shoot, Jiang tells her, "Wei said you're a very boring person, but from what I can see, you're actually quite lively." Xia smiles and replies, "You don't really know me yet." The photo shoot is completed successfully, and when Mr. Wang sees the final pictures, he likes them so much that he agrees to continue the collaboration with Xia's company. Later, Jiang meets Duan again. From their conversation, we learn that everything was part of Jiang's plan. It was Jiang and Duan who prevented the female model from coming to the photo shoot. Even Wei showing up at the restaurant that day had been arranged by Jiang. His goal is simple. He wants Xia to trust him completely. Once she trusts him enough, he believes she'll reveal all of her secrets herself. After that, Jiang and Duan come up with another plan to get even closer to Xia. The next day, while Jiang and Xia are crossing the road together, a car suddenly speeds toward them. An accident happens. Xia pushes Jiang out of the way and gets injured while trying to save him. We then learn something surprising. The accident was originally supposed to be fake. Jiang had asked Duan to stage it so he could become closer to Xia. But Duan arrived too late, and before he could do anything, a real accident happened because of someone else. Jiang immediately rushes Xia to the hospital. According to the doctor, her injuries aren't serious. However, Xia keeps saying that her hand hurts badly. She then tells Jiang, "Until my hand fully recovers, you'll have to help me with all my work at the company." Jiang agrees without arguing. Later, we see Xia talking with Sang Li. From their conversation, we discover another shocking truth. The accident wasn't entirely a coincidence after all. It was actually Sang Li who arranged it following Xia's instructions, hoping it would help Xia and Jiang become closer. After finishing their conversation, Sang Li leaves the house. Outside, she unexpectedly runs into Duan. Here, we learn that the two already know each other. The night Sang Li went drinking with Xia, she had met Duan there. They talked for quite a while, and Duan had even asked for her phone number, but Sang Li refused to give it to him. Now, Duan jokingly asks, "Are you really a delivery girl, or are you just pretending to be one?" Sang Li avoids answering and tells him to mind his own business. Duan then reveals that he has just moved into the house right next to Xia's. Hearing this, Sang-Lee is completely shocked. Just then, Duan receives a phone call, and Sang-Lee uses the opportunity to quietly leave. The following day, Zhang goes to Xia's company with her. Since her hand is still injured, Zhang helps her with all of her work, making Xia very happy. While Xia is working on a new design, Zhang notices the signature she always puts on her sketches. He tells her, "Your signature is very unique." Xia smiles and thanks him. The moment Zhang sees that signature, he suddenly remembers that his late brother had a picture with the exact same signature on it. This makes Zhang even more certain that Xia is somehow connected to his brother's death. After work, Zhang drives Xia home. When they arrive, Xia thanks him and tells him he can go home now. Zhang smiles and replies, "I am going home. I just moved into the house next door." Hearing this, Xia is completely stunned, realizing that Zhang has now become her next-door neighbor. As Zhang is about to leave, Xia suddenly calls him back. She says, "Wei was actually right about one thing. Normally, I feel disgusted whenever any man touches me, but strangely, I don't feel that way when I'm with you. So, will you help me overcome this problem?" Jiang immediately agrees. After returning home, Xia smiles to herself, believing that Zhang is following her plan exactly as she expected. At the same time, Zhang is just as happy, thinking that Xia has finally started falling for him. The next day, the two meet again. Xia tells Zhang that Mr. Wang and Mrs. Wang are planning to launch a clothing line for couples, and she wants to win that project. She asks Zhang to attend tomorrow's party as her fake boyfriend. Without hesitation, Zhang agrees. While they are talking, Xia is unconsciously holding Zhang's hand. After she leaves, Zhang keeps staring at his hand with a smile, clearly enjoying the moment. That evening, Xia attends the party and meets Mr. and Mrs. Wang. She tells them that she wants to design outfits for their couple's collection. Mrs. Wang replies, "I've always liked the way you and Wei look together. Couples understand other couples best, which is why I only work with real couples." Before Xia can explain anything, Wei suddenly appears. He publicly announces that he and Xia have already broken up. Then he mocks her by asking if she's still using his name to get business opportunities. Xia tries to explain the situation to Mrs. Wang. However, Mrs. Wang simply says that she only works with couples and starts walking away. Just then, Xia notices Zhang standing nearby. She immediately calls him over and introduces him as her boyfriend. She also explains that she broke up with Wei after he cheated on her. Wei tries to interrupt, but Zhang stops him. He firmly says, "I already warned you to stop bothering my girlfriend." To make sure they're telling the truth, Mrs. Wang starts questioning Xia while Mr. Wang questions Zhang separately. Coincidentally, both of them ask the exact same question. Mrs. Wang asks Xia, "So how did you two meet?" Xia replies that after discovering Wei's betrayal, she went drinking to forget everything, and that's where she met Jiang. At the same time, Jiang gives Mr. Wang the exact same answer. Since both of their stories match perfectly, Mrs. Wang is convinced that they're really dating. As a result, she finally agrees to collaborate with Xia. Later that evening, Jiang and Xia even perform a couple's dance together. Watching them dance, both Mr. and Mrs. Wang become even more convinced that they make a wonderful couple. After the party, Jiang meets Duan again. After hearing everything that happened, Duan smiles and says, "I don't think you're just pretending anymore. I think you've actually started liking Xia." Meanwhile, Sang-Lee says almost the same thing to Xia, but Xia immediately denies it. She insists that she's only using Zhang for her own purpose. Interestingly, Zhang gives Duan the exact same answer, claiming that he's only pretending because of his revenge plan. Later, Zhang meets Xia again. He smiles and says, "I helped you by pretending to be your boyfriend. So what reward are you going to give me?" Xia asks what he wants. Zhang grins and says, "I want a kiss." As he slowly leans closer to kiss her, Xia quickly says, "I'm feeling sleepy." Then she hurriedly runs into her room. But after closing the door, she can't stop blushing as she remembers what Jiang just said. The following morning, when Xia is getting ready for work, Jiang suddenly arrives on a motorcycle. The two ride to her office together. Throughout the entire day, Jiang can't stop watching Xia. That evening, they meet again by the beach. Jiang secretly thinks that Xia has already fallen in love with him, which means he'll soon be able to take his revenge. Later, he shares his thoughts with Duan. Duan says their plan is working perfectly, but Jiang isn't completely convinced. He says everything is becoming a little too easy, making him suspect that Xia might also have a secret plan of her own. That same night, after Xia returns home, she runs into Wei in the parking lot. Wei bitterly says, "So it's okay when Zhang touches you but not when I do?" Xia ignores him and tries to leave. However, Wei grabs her arm. Xia immediately warns him that she'll call the police if he doesn't let go. Wei laughs and says, "No one's coming to save you." Just then, Jiang suddenly appears. Without saying a word, he punches Wei. Wei fights back and the two men get into a fierce fight. After beating Wei badly, Jiang gives him one final warning. If you ever lay a hand on Xia again, I'll kill you. With that, Jiang takes Xia away. Back at home, Xia carefully treats the injuries Jiang received during the fight. After applying medicine to his wounds, she tells him she'll go prepare something for him to eat. The moment she leaves the room, Jiang suddenly comes up with a new idea. He deliberately sets off the fire alarm in his own house. Within seconds, the sprinklers activate, and water starts pouring throughout the entire house. As a result, Xia brings Jiang to her home. She even offers to book him a hotel room, but Jiang keeps insisting that until his house is repaired, he should be allowed to stay at her place. After repeatedly asking her, Jiang finally convinces Xia to let him move in temporarily. After Jiang finishes freshening up and is talking with Xia, someone suddenly knocks on the front door. Xia opens it and is shocked to see that it's her mother. She quickly rushes Jiang into another room and hides him before letting her mother inside. As soon as she enters, Xia's mother asks why she broke up with Wei. Xia honestly tells her that Wei cheated on her, so she ended the relationship. Her mother sighs and says, "You're not getting any younger. Find a good man and get married soon." Xia casually replies, "If I find a good man, I'll marry him." Before she can finish speaking, Jiang suddenly walks out and says, "I'm a good man too." Seeing an unfamiliar man inside her daughter's house completely surprises Xia's mother. Xia immediately drags Jiang into another room and asks why he would suddenly say something like that. Jiang smiles and says, "Don't you want me to be your boyfriend? It would be nice if you really became my girlfriend." Meanwhile, Xia's mother scolds her, asking how she can stay in the same house with a man. She worries about what other people will say if they find out. Xia finally loses her patience. She tells her mother, "Why do you always care more about what other people think than what I feel? You've been like this ever since I was little. That's exactly why our relationship has become so distant." Her mother is left speechless. Before the argument can continue, Jiang comes over and announces that dinner is ready. While they're having dinner, Xia goes into the kitchen to bring something. Taking the opportunity, her mother quietly asks Jiang, "Do you really like my daughter, or are you just playing with her?" Without hesitation, Jiang answers that he truly likes Xia. He then starts talking about everything he knows about her likes, dislikes, habits, and personality. He also praises her sincerely. Both Xia and her mother are surprised by how much Jiang knows about her. By the end of dinner, even Xia's mother is impressed. After dinner, Xia tells her mother that it's getting late and she should head home. But her mother says it's already too late to travel and decides to stay the night instead. She goes to sleep in the second bedroom. Oddly enough, Jiang is secretly happy about this because it gives him another opportunity to stay close to Xia. That night, Jiang and Xia stay together in the same room. Xia thanks him for everything he did that day. Jiang gently tells her, "From now on, whenever you're in trouble, I want you to come to me first." Xia quietly agrees. The following morning, Jiang wakes up early and prepares breakfast for Xia before coming to wake her up. In reality, this is all part of his plan. From now on, he intends to make breakfast for her every day and drive her to work. He believes that if Xia slowly becomes dependent on him, taking his revenge later will be much easier. As time passes, Jiang's plan seems to be working. Xia gradually starts relying on him more and more. Later, Jiang tells Duan about his progress. However, Duan laughs and says, "I think it's not just Xia who's becoming dependent. You're becoming dependent on her too." He points out that Jiang waits every morning for Xia after making breakfast, waits to drive her to work, and even drops everything whenever she calls. Jiang immediately denies it. But right in the middle of the conversation, Xia calls him. Without saying another word, Jiang leaves Duan behind and rushes to meet her. Seeing this, Duan simply smiles because it proves exactly what he was saying. The next day, Xia visits a clothing store to buy a gift for Jiang. She shows the shop owner a picture of Jiang and asks if he has similar clothes. The shop owner immediately recognizes him. He tells Xia that on the night she went drinking with Sang Li, he saw Jiang there. According to him, Jiang even bought clothes from his store before waiting outside the restroom. Then, the moment Xia came out, Jiang deliberately bumped into her. After hearing this, Xia realizes that Jiang must have approached her with a hidden motive from the very beginning. Feeling upset, she returns home. When she gets there, she accidentally overhears Jiang talking with Duan. From their conversation, it sounds like Jiang had made a bet with his friend about making Xia fall in love with him. Now Xia becomes completely convinced that the shop owner was telling the truth. Just then, Jiang notices her standing there. The moment he sees the expression on her face, he realizes something is wrong. Zia turns around and starts walking away. Jiang quickly follows her, apologizing over and over again. He insists that she's misunderstanding everything, but Xia says she already knows the truth and doesn't want to hear any excuses. Seeing that he can't hide it anymore, Jiang admits that he really did make a bet with Duan. However, he explains that the bet wasn't what Xia thinks. He says the bet was never about making her fall in love. Instead, he had bet that no matter how much time he spent with Xia, he would never fall in love with her himself. But as they continued spending time together, everything changed. He slowly fell for her without even realizing it. Xia believes his explanation. Once again, Jiang successfully wins back her trust. He then sincerely confesses, saying, "The first time I saw you, I already fell in love with you, and now I don't want to be away from you even for a moment." After saying that, Jiang kisses Xia. As the kiss becomes more passionate and Jiang tries to take things further, Xia suddenly stops him. Painful memories from her past flash through her mind. Jiang immediately apologizes. Xia gently tells him that it isn't his fault. She explains that she has some personal issues connected to her past. The following day, Jiang, Xia, Sangli, and Duan all meet together at a restaurant, where a new chapter of their story begins. At the restaurant, Jiang and Duan finally learn that the accident from the other day was actually arranged by Sang Li. A little later, Xia and Sang Li go to the restroom. While they're away, Jiang and Duan talk about what happened the day before. We learn that when Xia went to the clothing store and showed Jiang's picture to the shop owner, Duan happened to see everything. He immediately called Jiang and warned him that Xia had started investigating him. Instead of panicking, Jiang told Duan to stay calm. He said that Xia would be home soon, and when she arrived, they just needed to put on a convincing performance. Sure enough, after Xia returned home, Jiang deliberately spoke loudly on the phone with Duan so she could overhear their conversation. In other words, everything had happened exactly according to Jiang's plan. Meanwhile, Wei has secretly hired people to keep an eye on both Jiang and Xia. The next day, Jiang and Xia attend another party hosted by Mr. Wang and Mrs. Wang. By this point, Xia has already started working on their fashion project. Wei is also present at the party. When he sees Jiang and Xia together, he becomes extremely jealous and drinks far too much. A little later, Xia goes to the restroom. Wei follows her there and starts treating her very badly. His behavior triggers painful memories from Xia's past, leaving her terrified. Just then, Jiang arrives. Without hesitation, he punches Wei once again and reminds him that he had already warned him to stay away from Xia. Although Jiang protects her, the incident leaves Xia badly shaken. After the party, Jiang takes her back home. Once Xia falls asleep, Jiang steps outside alone. He can't stop thinking. If Xia was really responsible for his brother's death, then why doesn't she seem to remember anything about it? He also wonders what exactly happened in her past that made her so afraid of being touched by men. At the same time, Xia wakes up and walks onto the balcony. From a distance, she quietly watches Jiang. Both of them end up thinking the same thing. If their painful pasts didn't exist, they probably would have become a real couple by now. The following day, while they're spending time together, Xia suddenly asks Jiang if he overheard her conversation with her mother. Jiang honestly admits that he did. After a moment of silence, Xia finally reveals the painful truth about her past. She explains that after her parents separated, her mother remarried. Her stepfather repeatedly tried to abuse her whenever he got the chance. One day, her mother witnessed everything herself, but even after seeing it with her own eyes, she never reported him to the police. Because of those traumatic experiences, Xia developed an intense fear of physical contact with men. She also says that after that incident, her relationship with her mother completely fell apart. The two barely spoke anymore. Her mother didn't even attend her graduation ceremony. Looking at Jiang with teary eyes, Xia asks, "Now that you know everything, you're not going to leave me too, are you?" Jiang immediately hugs her and gently says, "I'll never leave you." That same night, Jiang goes to meet Xia's mother. He asks why she never reported her husband to the police. Through tears, she explains that she was afraid people would find out and ruin Xia's reputation, so she made the wrong decision. Jiang then asks why she didn't attend Xia's graduation. Her mother reveals that she actually did go. She simply didn't have the courage to face her daughter. To prove it, she shows Jiang a photo from Xia's graduation ceremony. Only then does Jiang realize that despite all her mistakes, Xia's mother truly loves her daughter. The next day, Jiang talks to Xia. He shows her the graduation photo and tells her that her mother has always loved her, even if she failed to express it properly. He encourages Xia to talk to her mother and try to heal their relationship. After thinking about it, Xia agrees. She then smiles and asks Jiang, "You always care so much about everyone. Who taught you to be like that?" Jiang softly replies, "My older brother." Xia laughs and jokes, "That's good. At least it wasn't your ex-girlfriend who taught you." Hearing those words, Jung suddenly wonders why Xia doesn't remember his brother at all. That night, Jung has another nightmare. He dreams about the day his older brother committed suicide right in front of him. The horrifying memory wakes him up. Unable to sleep, Jung starts reading his brother's old diary. Inside, his brother had written about the girl he loved. He described her as beautiful, with long hair, and someone who loved drinking milk. The diary also contains the same drawing with Xia's signature that Jiang found before. Seeing it once again convinces Jiang that Xia must somehow be connected to his brother's death. Because of that, he hardens his resolve to take revenge on her. The next day, Jiang is working at Xia's office when she comes to him with information about an important new project. She also hands him a USB drive containing confidential company data. Jiang looks at her in surprise and asks, "You're giving me such important information. Aren't you afraid I might use it against you?" Xia smiles without any hesitation. She says, "I trust you completely. That's why I'm giving it to you." After she leaves, Jiang quietly looks at the USB drive and thinks to himself, "You made a mistake by trusting me. This time, I'll use all of this against you." Later, Jiang meets Duan and gives him the USB drive containing all of Xia's confidential designs. He says, "Upload every design online. Once these designs are leaked, Xia will be devastated. That's how I'll finally get my revenge." Duan agrees and starts copying all of the files from the USB drive. Just then, Sang Li arrives. She notices Duan paying more attention to his laptop than to her and jokingly says, "If your laptop is more important than me, then I'll just leave." Duan immediately closes the laptop and starts talking with her instead. While they're chatting, the laptop remains open on the table. Meanwhile, Jiang returns to Xiao's office but can't find her. As he's waiting, Sang Li arrives. Jiang casually asks whether everything is going well at the company. Sang Li replies that there aren't any problems. Then she suddenly says something that completely shocks Jiang. She tells him, "From now on, don't make Xia drink milk anymore. She actually hates milk. She only drinks it because she doesn't want to disappoint you, and afterward she has to take medicine." The moment Jiang hears this, he freezes. He immediately rushes home and opens his brother's diary. In the diary, his brother had clearly written that the girl he loved drinking milk. Only then does Jiang realize something important. The girl his brother loved could never have been Xia. Without wasting another second, Jiang hurries back to Xia's office. The first thing he asks is whether anything has happened at the company. Xia looks confused and tells him that everything is fine before asking why he suddenly looks so worried. Jiang is just about to confess everything he has done, but before he can speak, Sang Li rushes into the office. She announces that someone has leaked all of their new fashion designs. Jiang wants to admit that he was responsible. However, before he gets the chance, several company investors arrive demanding answers. Mr. Wang is among them. Xia calmly explains that the leaked designs were most likely stolen by one of their competitors. She also assures Mr. Wang that the special designs she created for his company are still safe. Then she sincerely apologizes to everyone and promises to create an entirely new collection. Watching Xia take responsibility for everything makes Jiang feel extremely guilty. Later, he meets Duan again. Jiang tells him that the girl his brother loved wasn't Xia after all. Duan then reveals something even more surprising. He never actually had the chance to upload the leaked designs. That means someone else leaked them first. Hearing this, Jiang feels relieved. Not only is Xia innocent, but he also realizes that he has genuinely fallen in love with her. He immediately returns to Xia's office. Instead of hiding things anymore, he suggests that they should first find the real person responsible for stealing the designs. Xia agrees with his idea. The next day, Jiang and Xia disguise themselves in unusual outfits and secretly visit one of their competitors' stores. After looking around, they confirm that the competitor is indeed using stolen versions of their designs. When they return to the office, they discover the identity of the real culprit. One of their own employees, Sang Chi, secretly leaked the designs to the competitor. The following day, Jiang and Xia go to the hospital to confront him. Sang Chi's older brother is hospitalized there. Seeing the sick man reminds Jiang of his own late brother. When Xia starts talking to Sang Chi, Jiang angrily scolds him. He says, "Instead of stealing designs, you should have spent your time taking care of your sick brother." Xia immediately tells Jiang to stop. Hearing her words, Jiang quietly walks away. After that, Sang Chi apologizes to Xia. He explains that he desperately needed money for his brother's treatment, so he had no choice but to betray the company. After hearing the truth, Xia forgives him. That night, Xia tries to talk to Jiang. However, Jiang refuses to speak with her because he's emotionally overwhelmed. A little later, Xia prepares food for him and goes looking for him. But Jiang isn't in his room. She searches the entire house and repeatedly calls his phone, but he doesn't answer. Meanwhile, Jiang has already accepted that Xia was never the girl his brother loved. Because of that, he decides to abandon all of his revenge plans. The next morning, Xia enters Jiang's room. There, she notices an old photograph of Jiang with his older brother. Looking at the picture, she realizes exactly where Jiang must have gone. Meanwhile, Jiang is sitting at the same place shown in the photograph. As he sits there alone, he imagines talking to his late brother. He quietly says, "I still haven't been able to avenge your death." In his imagination, his brother smiles and replies, "None of this is your fault, but don't hurt Xia because of me." Jiang sadly says, "Whenever I was upset, I always came here. You were the only one who ever came looking for me." His brother replies, "One day, someone else will come looking for you too. And when that person finds you, never let them leave your life." Just then, Xia appears in front of him. Jiang looks at her in surprise and asks, "So, you found me?" Xia smiles warmly and says, "No matter where you are, I'll always find you." Jiang quietly replies, "The only person who ever knew about this place was my brother." Xia gently wipes away his tears and kisses him. Meanwhile, we see Wei meeting with the manager of Xia's competitor company. A shocking truth is finally revealed. It was Wei who secretly arranged for Xia's designs to be leaked and handed them over to the competitor. Now that the competitor has gotten what they wanted, the manager comes to Wei asking for more help. However, Wei makes it clear that he has no intention of helping them any further, setting the stage for an even bigger conflict ahead. Meanwhile, Wei isn't done causing trouble. He contacts a reporter and pays him to publish another article about Xia. The very next day, while Jiang and Xia are spending some romantic time together at the office, Xia receives a phone call. She immediately searches online and discovers a news article about herself and Jiang. The article falsely claims that Xia is a gold digger who dumped Wei for his money and then moved on to Jiang because he's even richer. Reading the article makes Xia furious. She immediately goes to confront Wei. Wei smirks as soon as he sees her and says, "I knew you'd come. Girls like you are always waiting for a better opportunity." Xia asks him why he's spending so much money just to destroy her reputation. Instead of answering, Wei continues insulting her. Finally losing her patience, Xia pushes him straight into a swimming pool. Before leaving, she gives him one final warning. "If you ever try to ruin my reputation again, I won't let you off so easily." That same night, Xia stays alone at the office and starts a live stream. During the broadcast, she publicly explains that every leaked design belongs to her. She even shows the original design blueprints to prove that she's the real creator. Then she says something even more important. She openly admits that she truly loves Jiang. She tells everyone that their relationship is genuine and based on love, not money. By the time the live stream ends, Jiang has already arrived at the office. Looking at her, he asks, "What are you doing?" Xia calmly replies, "People deserve to know the truth." Jiang smiles and says, "And along with that, you told everyone about our relationship too." Xia asks, "Didn't you want everyone to know?" Jiang happily replies that he's been waiting for her to make their relationship public for a long time. The two then share another sweet romantic moment together. The following day, Sang Li announces some good news at the office. All of the copyright issues have been resolved, and after Xia's live stream, public opinion has completely changed in their favor. Everyone celebrates the good news. But Jiang isn't satisfied yet. He says they can't simply let Wei get away with everything he has done. Now it's time to make him pay. Jiang gathers everyone together and explains his new plan. Instead of taking revenge emotionally, they're going to defeat Wei through legal means. He assigns each person a specific task, and the next day their plan officially begins. First, Duan and Sang Li meet the same reporter who wrote the false article. Duan offers him a large amount of money if he hands over all of the evidence against Wei. The reporter agrees. Meanwhile, Sang Li secretly records their entire conversation as proof. Soon after, Wei's assistant rushes over with bad news. He tells Wei that people have discovered the truth behind the fake article, and the police have already started investigating the case. Hearing this makes Wei furious. The next day happens to be Xia's birthday. Sang Li asks how she wants to celebrate. Xia says she doesn't want to do anything special, but deep inside, she secretly believes Jiang must be planning a wonderful birthday surprise for her. The next morning, she dresses up beautifully and comes downstairs. Jiang looks at her and says he'll be a little late getting to the office today. As he's about to leave, Xia stops him and asks, "Aren't you forgetting something?" Jiang walks back, kisses her gently on the forehead, and leaves. Watching him go, Xia smiles to herself. She becomes even more convinced that he's secretly preparing a surprise party at the office. Excited, she arrives at work. But after getting there, she realizes that everyone seems to have forgotten her birthday. Hardly anyone even wishes her. A little later, Jiang comes over and says he brought something for her. Xia smiles, thinking he finally remembered. But when Jiang hands her the gift, she realizes it's just some food. Her excitement instantly disappears. Feeling heartbroken, Xia leaves work and goes alone to the hotel room she had booked for her birthday. She starts drinking by herself until she gets completely drunk. Then she calls Jiang and asks him to come. By the time Jiang arrives, Xia is heavily intoxicated. Holding on to him, she sadly asks, "How could you forget my birthday? I really thought you had planned something special for me." Jiang gently explains, "I did prepare something for your birthday, but you called me here before I could surprise you." Xia tells him to forget about the surprise. As the two slowly lean in to kiss each other, the doorbell suddenly rings. When they open the door, they find Sang Li, Duan, and the rest of their friends standing outside. They've all come to celebrate Xia's birthday together. Still a little drunk, Xia suddenly kisses Jiang right in front of everyone. Seeing this, everyone becomes convinced that their relationship has become completely serious. After the others leave, Jiang and Xia continue celebrating by themselves. That night, they spend the night together for the first time as a real couple. The following morning, Jiang gently asks Xia, "Do you feel uncomfortable being this close to me?" Xia smiles and honestly replies that when she's with him, she doesn't feel uncomfortable at all, showing just how deeply she has come to trust and love him. The next morning, Jiang asks Xia one more question. "Are you really not uncomfortable being close to me?" Xia smiles and shakes her head. She tells him that if they had met a few years earlier, her life would have been completely different. "You've become like medicine to me," she says. "Ever since you came into my life, all of my fears have slowly disappeared." Hearing those words makes Jiang both happy and guilty at the same time. The following day, while Xia is talking on the phone, she notices Jiang standing with another woman. To make things worse, the woman is casually touching Jiang, making Xia instantly jealous. She wants to ask him about it, but before she gets the chance, Duan suddenly arrives and takes Jiang away. Later, while searching online, Xia discovers an old news article revealing that Jiang's older brother committed suicide several years ago. The news leaves her confused. She can't understand why something like that happened. That night, she finally asks Jiang about the woman she saw earlier. Jiang explains that she is actually his stepmother. He tells her that his father remarried after his mother's death. Xia believes him without any suspicion. She smiles and says she's grateful to have him in her life. At that moment, Jiang is about to tell her the entire truth about his past and his revenge plan. But before he can speak, Xia suddenly notices something burning in the kitchen. She quickly runs off. Just then, Wei calls Jiang. However, before Jiang can answer, Xia returns, forcing him to hide his phone. Meanwhile, Wei secretly visits the place where Jiang and Duan had been planning their revenge against Xia. After discovering the location and gathering evidence, Wei becomes extremely pleased. The next day, Jiang meets Duan. He tells him that Wei has learned everything about their original revenge plan. Jiang even shows him several photos proving that Wei has collected evidence against them. He realizes that Wei will soon use all of it to blackmail him. Duan advises Jiang to stop hiding the truth and confess everything to Xia before it's too late. But Jiang still hesitates. He wants to keep the truth hidden for as long as possible. Meanwhile, Wei returns to Jiang's family home. There, Min tells him that she's certain Jiang will come home today. She also believes that once Jiang returns, his father will hand over the family business to him. Wei confidently tells her not to worry because Jiang won't be coming. Just then, Jiang's father arrives and asks whether Jiang has shown up yet. Wei replies that he probably won't come, but at that exact moment, Jiang walks in together with Xia. The entire family then sits down for lunch. Jiang's father is happy to see that Xia is now Jiang's girlfriend. He tells Jiang that it's finally time for him to take responsibility for the family business. He also says that Wei will help guide him. Wei immediately agrees and proudly says he's ready to teach Jiang everything. Jiang coldly replies, "You don't even know enough yourself. What exactly are you going to teach me?" Min scolds Jiang for speaking so disrespectfully to his elders. Jiang looks at her and says, "You're not my mother, so stop trying to act like one." His words make Min furious and she storms away from the table. Seeing this, Jiang's father becomes angry as well. He asks why Jiang can never behave properly even for a single day. Jiang calmly replies, "If today weren't my brother's death anniversary, I wouldn't have come here at all." Those words completely infuriate his father. He tells Jiang to leave immediately and never return to the house again. Jiang quietly turns around and leaves with Xia. However, just as they're walking away, Wei throws all the evidence he collected into the air. Photographs scatter everywhere. Xia picks them up, and in an instant she learns the truth. She discovers that Jiang originally approached her as part of a revenge plan. Completely devastated, she starts walking away. Jiang immediately runs after her. With tears in her eyes, Xia asks him, "Was there ever even a single day when you truly loved me?" Jiang honestly answers, "Yes, it's true that I approached you because I wanted revenge, but please believe me, my love for you was never fake. I never lied to you about my feelings." Xia is so heartbroken that she raises her hand to slap him, but in the end, she can't do it. Holding back her tears, she quietly says, "If you really loved me, then don't follow me anymore." With that, she walks away. Jiang desperately tries to stop her, but Xia refuses to look back. From that moment on, both of them are left completely heartbroken. The following day, Jiang goes to Xia's office. He tries talking to her, but she completely ignores him. Later, he even brings her food. Still, Xia refuses to acknowledge him. Watching her coldly avoid him breaks Jiang's heart. He sits down alone, looking completely defeated. Just then, Sang Li walks over. She tells Jiang, "If you've done something that hurt Xia, apologize before it's too late. Because once she truly walks away from you, you may never be able to get her back." That evening, while Xia is working at home, Jiang comes to her house. He keeps knocking loudly on the front door and repeatedly calls her name, hoping she'll open the door. But instead of answering him, Xia quietly puts on her headphones, trying to block out both his voice and the pain in her heart. After working for a while, Xia finally takes off her headphones. She realizes that Jiang has stopped knocking. Thinking he has already left, she opens the door. But to her surprise, Jiang is still sitting quietly outside her house. She immediately tries to close the door again. However, the door accidentally hits Jiang's hand. Seeing him get hurt makes her feel guilty. She tells him, "Go home. When I'm ready to talk to you, I'll come to you myself." Although Jiang is disappointed, he quietly leaves. That night, Xia goes out drinking with Sang Li. Completely heartbroken, she tells her, "I made the biggest mistake by trusting someone like Jiang." Sang Li tries to convince her to give Jiang one more chance, but Xia firmly refuses. At the same time, Jiang is also drinking with Duan. He keeps blaming himself for hurting Xia. A little later, Duan and Sang Li run into each other. Realizing that both Jiang and Xia still love each other, they quietly leave them alone. They decide that this is something the two of them need to solve by themselves. The next morning, Xia wakes up and is shocked to find Jiang sleeping beside her. She slowly remembers that after getting drunk, she had come back to the hotel with him. The memory leaves her feeling embarrassed. As she's about to leave, Jiang holds out her bracelet and teasingly says, "So you're leaving again without even saying goodbye?" Without answering him, Xia simply takes the bracelet from his hand and walks away. Watching her reaction makes Jiang smile. The following day, while Xia is assigning work to her employees, someone suddenly rushes in with terrible news. All of their company orders have been canceled. Xia is completely confused. Just then, Wei walks into the office. He proudly announces that he has bought Mr. Wang's company. That means Xia's company is now under his control. Wei smugly tells her that from now on, her company will do whatever he says. He even promises to destroy everything she has built right in front of her eyes. As Wei walks toward her, Xia instinctively steps backward and nearly falls. Before she can hit the ground, Jiang catches her. He then turns to Wei and says, "You can't touch Xia's company anymore." He reveals that he is now the largest shareholder in Wei's company. As the biggest shareholder, he has the authority to reject any of Wei's decisions. Only then do we learn that Jiang's father secretly transferred the majority of the company's shares to Jiang. From now on, Jiang has the power to stop Wei whenever he wants. Wei leaves in frustration. The next day, Duan meets Xia. He wants to clear up the misunderstanding between her and Jiang. Duan explains that Jiang wasn't the only one responsible for everything. He then shows Xia an old drawing with her signature on it. The moment she sees it, an old memory comes rushing back. Years ago, Xia had visited the seaside. Most of the people there were couples enjoying their time together, but she noticed a lonely young man sitting in a wheelchair. He looked incredibly sad. Feeling sorry for him, Xia secretly sketched a portrait of him. After finishing the drawing, she handed it to him and smiled. "You look very handsome," she told him, "but if you smiled, you'd look even better." After saying that, she simply walked away. At that exact time, a younger Jiang had been coming to pick up his older brother. That was actually the very first time Jiang and Xia crossed paths. But since it happened so many years ago, neither of them remembered it. While Duan is explaining everything, Jiang overhears their conversation and walks over. Jia looks at him and asks, "So, you came to take revenge against me based only on this drawing?" Jiang shakes his head. He says it wasn't just the drawing. He also had an old photograph. He shows Jia the picture. In it, she is handing that same drawing to Jiang's older brother. Jiang finally apologizes sincerely for everything he has done. This time, Xia forgives him. The two decide to give their relationship another chance. They return to the same beach where everything first began. There, they attach a love lock together as a symbol of their new beginning. Looking around, Xia suddenly remembers that Jiang's brother had spent a long time looking at the love locks on that beach. Jiang quietly says, "Maybe my brother also left a love lock here with the woman he loved." The two of them immediately begin searching through the thousands of locks. After searching for a while, they finally find one with Jiang's brother's name on it. But beside his name, the other name engraved on the lock is Min. The moment Jiang sees that name, he is completely stunned. The moment Jiang sees the name Min on the love lock, everything finally becomes clear. He realizes that the woman his older brother had written about in his diary was actually Min. When his brother learned that Min was going to marry Jiang's own father, he must have been completely devastated. Instead of sharing that pain with anyone, he kept everything buried inside. Thinking about it, Jiang sadly says to Xia, "I can't even imagine how much my brother suffered before he chose to end his life." He then realizes that the people truly responsible for his brother's tragedy are Min and Wei. Now, instead of taking revenge on Xia, he decides that Min and Wei are the ones who deserve to pay. The next day, Min visits a hospital. Xia secretly follows her. A few moments later, Wei also arrives. He immediately asks, "Is the baby okay?" Min calmly replies that everything is fine. Xia secretly records their entire conversation and later shows the video to Jiang. After watching it, Jiang becomes suspicious. He wonders why both of them are so worried about the baby. Then, an even more shocking thought crosses his mind. What if that baby isn't even my father's child? The possibility leaves both Jiang and Xia completely stunned. The following day, investigators arrive at Wei's company. They tell him they need to examine all of the company's financial transactions. Wei arrogantly refuses, saying he's the boss of the company. Just then, Jiang walks in. As the company's largest shareholder, he orders Wei to cooperate with the investigation. Jiang explains that a huge amount of company money has recently been transferred overseas, and they need to find out where it went. Hearing this, Wei starts getting nervous. However, he smugly tells Jiang, "Don't celebrate too early. My sister is carrying a child from your family." Jiang simply smiles and walks away without arguing. But Wei immediately calls Min because he's beginning to panic. Meanwhile, Min is back at the hospital for another checkup. She asks the doctor to bring her medical reports. The moment the doctor leaves the room, Min secretly deletes all of her medical records from the hospital computer. She then quickly gets into her car and leaves. However, on the way, she suddenly feels sick and gets out of the car. At that exact moment, we discover that Duan has secretly taken the driver's seat. As soon as Min steps away, Duan quickly replaces the documents inside her medical file. After examining the new documents, Jiang and Xia finally learn the truth. Min is indeed pregnant, but the pregnancy happened through artificial insemination. She used that pregnancy to enter Jiang's family while pretending the baby belonged to Jiang's father. Jiang immediately decides that his father deserves to know the truth. Meanwhile, Jiang's father suddenly falls seriously ill and is rushed to the hospital. The doctor secretly tells Min that his condition is critical. If treatment doesn't begin immediately, he may not survive. Instead of helping him, Min hands the doctor a bottle of poison. She orders him to secretly give it to Jiang's father so that he falls into a coma as quickly as possible. She even offers the doctor a blank check. Tempted by the money, the doctor agrees. Soon afterward, Jiang's father falls into a coma. The moment Jiang hears the news, he rushes home in anger. When he arrives, Wei greets him with a mocking smile. He sarcastically asks, "Did you come to say goodbye to your father for the last time?" The family's lawyer is also present. He reads Jiang's father's will. According to the document, most of the family's wealth has been left to Min and her unborn child. Jiang receives only a very small share. Jiang immediately questions Wei. "My father was perfectly healthy. How did he suddenly fall into a coma?" Wei simply laughs. He insults Jiang's entire family, saying that illness seems to run in their blood. He even mocks Jiang's late brother. Unable to control his anger, Jiang rushes toward Wei. However, Wei's bodyguards stop him. Wei even starts beating Jiang. Just then, Xia arrives. She tells Wei that she has already called the police and orders him to let Jiang go. Wei smirks and says he'll release Jiang, but only if Xia agrees to come back to him. Xia immediately rejects him. She then pulls out the original medical documents proving that Min became pregnant through artificial insemination. Seeing the evidence, Min doesn't panic. She confidently says that it doesn't matter anymore because the will has already transferred most of the family's property to her and the baby. Xia then asks Min, "So you betrayed Xiaozi? Just for money?" A flashback finally reveals what really happened years ago. Back then, Xiaozi and Wei were walking together when they saw a wealthy woman yelling at a worker after her expensive clothes were accidentally ruined. Xiaozi was about to help the poor worker, but before he could step in, Min appeared. She defended the worker and scolded the rich woman for treating people so badly. Her kind behavior immediately impressed Xiaozi. Wei then introduced Min as his cousin. However, we soon learned the shocking truth. Min had secretly paid that woman beforehand to stage the entire incident. It was all part of her plan to make Xiaozi fall in love with her. Later, while Xiaozi was writing everything about Min in his diary, Jiang happened to walk into the room. After reading a few pages of the diary, the younger Jiang started joking around with his older brother. Neither of them realized at the time that those innocent moments would eventually lead to the heartbreaking tragedy that changed all of their lives forever. At that moment, another flashback reveals what really happened years ago. While joking around with his older brother on a cliff, the younger Jiang accidentally slipped and almost fell. Xiaozi immediately rushed to save him. Although he managed to protect Jiang, he ended up falling off the cliff himself. After that accident, Xiaozi was left partially paralyzed. Sometime later, while Xiaozi was sitting sadly in the hospital, Min came to visit him. Feeling hopeless, Xiaozi told her, "You don't have to stay with me anymore. In my condition, I can't even take care of myself, let alone you." But Min pretended to be the perfect girlfriend. She smiled and said, "That doesn't matter. If you can't take care of me, then I'll take care of you. I want to stay by your side forever." Her fake concern made Xiaozi fall even deeper in love with her. A little later, Min cleverly told him that the chairman's office had an opening for a personal assistant. She asked Xiaozi to recommend her for the position. Although Xiaozi worried that the job would be too difficult for her, Min claimed she wanted to work hard for their future together. Without realizing her true intentions, Xiaozi happily agreed. However, the moment Min walked out of the hospital room, Wei met her outside. Instead of feeling sorry for Xiaozi, Wei said, "The sicker Xiaozi becomes, the better it is for us." From their conversation, we finally understand that Wei and Min had been manipulating everything from the very beginning. They had even trapped Jiang's father as part of their plan. After hearing all of this, Min confidently tells Xia, "But you still don't have any proof." Xia immediately replies that they found the love lock with Min and Xiaozi's names on it. Another flashback then reveals the truth. Years ago, Min took Xiaozi to the same bridge where couples placed love locks. There, she suddenly told him that she couldn't marry him. When Xiaozi asked why, Min started crying and put on another performance. She falsely claimed that everyone had been treating her badly. Then she made an even more shocking accusation. She lied that Jiang's father had forced himself on her and was now threatening to ruin her reputation unless she married him. Hearing those lies completely shattered Xiaozi's heart. Unable to bear seeing Min cry, he tried to comfort her, but everything she said was nothing more than a carefully planned lie. She had deliberately trapped Jiang's father from the very beginning. After hearing the whole story, Min shamelessly says, "Xiaozi chose to commit suicide himself. How is that my fault?" Xia immediately fires back, "If you hadn't betrayed him like this, why would he ever have chosen to die?" Wei then coldly adds, "Who cares whose fault it was? It's actually a good thing he died. That way, all of his inheritance became ours." At that very moment, Jiang breaks free from the bodyguards holding him. He points at Wei and says, "So you finally admitted it. My brother died because of the two of you." Wei proudly replies, "Yes, we admitted it. What are you going to do about it?" Just then, another voice suddenly interrupts them. Everyone turns around, and they are completely shocked to see Jiang's father standing there healthy. Both Min and Wei freeze in disbelief. Only now do we learn that Jiang had already told his father everything about Min, Xiaozi, and the love lock they discovered. After hearing the truth, Jiang's father realized that his own mistakes had indirectly led to his son's death. He deeply regretted marrying Min. Jiang had also warned him that Min and Wei were planning to kill him so they could take control of the entire company. Later, when Min bribed the doctor with poison and money, the doctor secretly informed Jiang's father instead. His father came up with a plan. He told the doctor, "I won't take all of these poisonous pills. I'll only take one so they'll think I've really fallen into a coma." Even the doctor was shocked by his courage. Afterward, the doctor announced that Jung's father had gone into a coma. Believing their plan had succeeded, Wei happily celebrated, saying that all of the chairman's wealth would soon belong to them. But what Wei didn't know was that the doctor had secretly recorded every single conversation. Now, Jung's father plays those recordings in front of everyone. Hearing their own voices confessing everything leaves Min and Wei speechless. Jung then tells them, "For everything you've done, you're finally going to pay the price." Not long afterward, both Wei and Min are arrested by the police. After everything is over, Jung's father sincerely apologizes to his son. He tells Jung that he has decided to hand over the entire company to him. Jung happily forgives his father and hugs him. Sometime later, Jung and Xia go on a trip together. They spend a wonderful time enjoying each other's company. Finally, in a beautiful romantic moment, Jung gets down on one knee and proposes to Xia. This time, Xia happily says yes. And with the two of them finally leaving their painful past behind and starting a new life together, the drama comes to a heartwarming, happy ending.